Here is the here's the hit, the one that I've wanted for a while on my radar. That's always on, always off, always on, always off, and I forget about it. But here it is. This is a 17-inch, 27-ounce Villager Farm knife by Krishna Kami. Cytosol wood handle. It's a beast. It is a beast. Actually, the sheath, surprisingly, is excellent. Traditional style. Water buffalo or whatever they're using over there. And it's great. The first thing you're going to notice about this is it has this awesome downswept design, hand hammered. It's finished in that rustic villager style, which is that hammer design. It's not they're not taking off those scale marks, so hence the villager finish, I'm pretty sure, in the title. And pins excellently. I was a little put off on the farm knives how they do such a big hook, but I'm guessing that if you're in the real world and you're at home and you own one of these in Nepal, I'm guessing, just like a butcher shop, that's where you hang your knife from a hook, or you hang it from somewhere, and I'm thinking that's what the intent of this is. I would like to see it gone, but I don't want to destroy it and take it off my own, and it does actually, it doesn't get in the way of anything. So 27 ounces, 17-inch. This thing is phenomenal. It's excellent. It cuts great. It is a go-to cleaver. One of my only downsides to this is that this back edge right here is perfectly squared off and then comes up and then goes into the blade. It's nice. You can choke up on it like this as you're cutting because it does give you some leverage and it gives you that chopping motion. But it's sharp. So what I would like to do, or maybe it's just my input, would be to see this slightly rounded off with a slight round right here at this sharp little bottom edge, because it is perfectly square, and I actually did cut myself on it a couple times. When I say cut myself, I get those scratches. I'm out in the cold, so it kind of did cut me open a little bit, but not to detract from it. Is great. The handle fitment, there's a little bit of metal showing right here, but not a big deal. That could be polished out. And for the price, I think I paid $175 plus shipping, so probably another $20 on shipping for that. It was an excellent purchase. This thing is massive. Consider it a cleaver / chef knife. Perfect for going through veggies. The ability to choke up on this, again, and you'll hear me say that in a lot of my knife videos. The ability to choke up when I'm skinning, when I'm using these, I like the ability to get up and actually manipulate the tip of the blade, and this allows you to do that. So if you had one knife in the real world, as most people have, they don't go out and buy 5 million knives like most of us. If you were going to have one knife for the kitchen, this thing is it. I've used lots of different chef knives. I've used lots of different knives in my processing, and this thing is a beast. Same thing, what I really liked about this knife is that, I think it was Krishna Kami on here, his knife out of the package, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Out of the box, I should say, the triangle box. Had a keen edge on it, probably shaving sharp. I didn't check it. Somewhere in there, I bet you, when I first got it, there's some hair coming off in there, but it was probably shaving sharp when I go. Same thing though. It takes that edge so well. The heat treat that he did on this thing and the grind that was on here just takes an edge, holds an edge, and is almost razor sharp, and it maintained that through 2 full deer as I was going with very minimal touch-up. So highly impressed, and the ability to chop down and push through the meat and to separate the steaks out and from the hams and some of the roast, and then chop everything. I made a lot of stew meat out of this, and a lot of burger prep came out of this thing, and I'll tell you what, phenomenal. So absolutely phenomenal. If you don't own one, you go get one. If you see them, they don't come up very often. So I jumped at the chance on this one, just happened to be looking at the right moment. But I am absolutely impressed with it. Again, for me, I don't think I wouldn't need this bottom piece here. So I wouldn't I don't want to take it off myself. But I think a slightly rounded one without the hole, because it just throws it off a little bit. For me, throws it off just a hair. But I love it. It's absolutely phenomenal. This knife, you can't go wrong with it. If you're looking for a knife to do heavy game processing, carve your Thanksgiving turkey, your Christmas hams, this is it. It's just a well thought out, well designed knife, and absolutely love it. It's I think everything I need in a processing knife, and the hand hammered marks, the forge marks, everything on there, and then just the level of polish that's on here. Is well thought out. So if this is a traditional design in Nepal, definitely well worth it. If you don't use your kukris and you don't use your knives, and you've got lots of them, I highly suggest you start putting them in the kitchen, start putting them at the table, and start using them, because these things just rock. And this one especially, I can't say enough about how easy it worked. I tried a few different knives this go around, and this thing just was going through like butter. The weight of it, gravity helps with it, and that sharp edge just glides right through the meat. I was able to get the thin skin membranes off the silver skin lining of the deer, and with this knife. So absolutely phenomenal. And the fit in here is crazy. That's tight. Krishna did an excellent job. So kudos to him in the fact that this is, probably one of the best cukes that I've got, or farm knife, I guess, and it is absolutely phenomenal. And I wasn't 100% sure how I was going to like it. I love that design, and then it showed up, and I was like, holy crap, that's big. I'm used to these big knives, but thinking it was going to be a hair smaller. And I'll tell you what, though, the design, the feel, everything was great. The handle itself could even stand to lose a 1/4 inch for my hand size, but the way he did it and the way that curve is, everything just felt right. So I wouldn't change a thing on this one, and other than aesthetically, I think that makes sense. That's why they probably have this for hanging. Yeah, friggin' rocks. And let's get to some cutting of some meat, and you're going to enjoy that. Thanks.